This play is part of LA Theatre Works Relativity Series of science-themed plays. Lead funding for the Relativity Series is provided by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, bridging science and the arts in the modern world.
And now, Hour 2 of Extinction by Hannie Rayson, directed by Martin Jarvis. Starring Seamus Dever, Sarah Drew, Darren Richardson, and Joanne Whalley.
Oh, God. That is my favorite thing in all the world.
Making love.
Making love in a tent.
In the rainforest.
Wow, Harry. It's so beautiful this morning. The trees are glistening. It must have rained. Oh, smell that eucalyptus. Hey, Harry, you do believe in global warming, don't you?
I'll tell you next time.
How do you know there's going to be a next time?
Because when you make a love like that, you want to do it again.
Let me get this straight.
I'll make a shitload of money.
Is that supposed to be erotic?
It's pretty erotic.
This isn't going to work, Harry.
Hey, come on.
I made a mistake. I am not a very good judge. You know, the day after my dad died, I met this guy at a bar in Brooklyn. We had sex twice, and then a week later he was on the news holding up a convenience store.
I'm pretty straight up and down, Piper.
You're the most confusing person I ever met.
Really? Ow. What'd you do that for?
Oh, look, Harry. An owl, see?
Where is it?
Up there. There, in the blackwood.
Ah, there he goes. Lost him.
There in the beech tree.
A barking owl. Oh, he's a beauty.
It's a big one. You sure it's not a powerful owl?
Maybe. Hard to tell them apart.
I think the barking owl has vertical stripes in the front. This one's more horizontal. See?
Yep, El Supremo. The Archduke of the Predators.
This is a lucky sign. If he's in the forest, there must be enough prey to sustain him.
He can eat a possum, that fella.
He'll have a nest in a hollow tree close by.
Good news for the quolls. Plenty to eat. Somewhere to live.
I hope so. Oh, I love the birds here. There he goes.
Off to bed. Look at him fly.
Absolutely silent.
I'm not used to this either, you know. I've been married for 15 years, remember?
I know. I'm sorry. You end up with a loon on your first date.
I end up with a mysterious, intriguing woman.
Oh, man, I knew this was a dumb thing to do.
Piper, I think you need to give it a chance.
That's ridiculous. You're my boss.
Heather Dixon-Brown is your boss.
I don't want her knowing about this.
Well, I'm not telling her. Look, you know what money means? It means a big life.
I thought you wanted a simple life.
That's why I love mining. It's big and it's simple. You find minerals, dig them up, and sell them. By the shipload. So many people, they lead such myopic lives. They agonize about building a fence, paving a driveway. But I've built highways and bridges and railroads.
Exactly. You're the problem.
If you want to make a difference to the environment, you have to be rich. This mine comes wrapped in a 50-year plan. Return here when you're an old lady, Piper. You won't see a trace of the mine. The cats will be gone and the quolls will be back ruling the forest.
This is not about one master of the universe saving the planet. This is about everyone transforming the way they live.
Yeah, sure. Change the light bulbs. Save your lunch wrap. Take your own scruffy bag to the supermarket.
That's making a difference.
Piper, most people don't have time to be the idealist you want them to be. They're too busy paying off the mortgage and feeding their kids.
Well, maybe you hang with the wrong crowd. I know heaps of people who spend their weekends planting trees or cleaning up riverbanks.
I love this place. I've been away far too long.
Was your wife turned on by the cash?
Not so turned on by me, apparently.
Your friend, Damien Gore. Is he wealthy?
He's a freaking poet.
See? Women don't care about the money.
What planet do you live on?
They don't. We live in such different worlds. That's why this relationship can't work.
It's not a relationship. It's just sex.
Ah, well, that's clear then.
Piper.
That's fine. That's good.
Piper? I do want this to be more than just sex.
It's only a month since you split up with your wife. You don't think it's a bit too soon?
And there's no waiting period. It's not dental insurance.
I just don't want you to have unrealistic expectations. That's all. As soon as this project's done, I'm out of here.
Was that the arrangement you had with the vet?
Yep.
And that's finished?
Oh, yeah. He made that very clear.
Ah.
Let's set up the cameras. That's what we're here for.
And he's a good bloke. Hard-working, knows his stuff. He was probably right about putting down that quall. Oh, I shouldn't have bowled him out. But I know the type and knew him the moment he came through the door. He's the kind of greenie who's always saying no. No dams, no mines, no roads. You gotta believe in your own species, Piper. And the human capacity to achieve great things.
This is a bit rich, don't you think, coming from you?
Look, I'm not some multinational corporation devouring the Amazon. I'm just a bloke who's come back home. I know what I'm doing here. What I don't understand is what you're doing here.
In Australia?
In this forest, saving other people's animals. It's like you're burdening yourself with the responsibility of keeping everything alive.
You think there's something wrong with me because I care about sick animals?
It's the dying that worries you, isn't it?
Maybe we should have breakfast.
You're frightened of it?
Everybody's frightened of it.
Oh, I never think about it.
Yeah, well, you're a special case. You're invincible.
How come you're so defensive?
I am not. You make me defensive.
Well, I'm sorry. I won't mention it again. Breakfast? Nothing like eggs and bacon fried on a campfire.
I don't do bacon.
Of course you don't. Just as well. I brought some.
When I'm with you, I become like this humorless ideologue, which I'm not with other people.
Why do you think that is?
People are not independent entities. We all exist in relationship with one another. You're a businessman polluting the planet.
Why don't you just think about me as a great fuck? Then a relationship, you're a great fuck and we're all happy.
You're a great fucker. That's what you are. Let's put this camera up there. Can you reach that branch?
I thought we were having breakfast.
We are. Let's point some of the cameras up into the trees since the quolls are such good climbers.
Good idea.
This is so brilliant. I can monitor them on my phone.
This gum tree?
Yeah.
Here?
That way a bit. Left. A bit more. No, bit more. No, too far. Yeah, that's it. That's good.
Okay. Now, what have you decided about Beast?
He's booked in to have the operation next week.
Wow, great.
And he is very disapproving, of course.
That's not his dog.
That's right. You think I'm doing the wrong thing? Just delaying facing the inevitable?
I think you've got a lot of grief in that big heart of yours.
My mother had this friend Betty, right? They were like best friends for 25 years. Then Betty's son, Axel, jumped off the roof of his Upper East Side apartment. My mother goes, I can't deal with suicide. Like, Betty was way more equipped and didn't need her best friend to call or hold her hand. My mother just went AWOL. I don't want to be that person.
But you're not. You looked after your dad for 2 years.
I want to be a person who faces up to things. If you can't face death, you can't face life, right?
Caring for your dog so you can enjoy a few more years of life, that's not wrong. Or weak. That's a testament of love.
I'm sorry, Harry. I don't know what I'm doing here anymore. I really did think Andy and I had something going.
Why do you go and see Beast?
You mean go home?
Just check in for a week or so.
Really?
Why not?
Just jump on a plane?
Mm-hmm.
What about my carbon footprint?
We'll plant some trees.
I could just book a ticket.
Yep, do it. Book 2, I'll come with you.
Harry.
Why not?
You don't even know me.
I wouldn't want a few days in New York.
You can't get everything you want, you know?
Why not?
Life isn't like that.
Mine is. Come on. Let's rustle up some breakfast.
Puss. How's it going, Schrodinger? Comfy enough in your little travelling box? That'll teach you to get involved with the snake. Tempazidine. Here we go. 1 tablet a day. Don't drive and don't use heavy machinery. Hey, look sharp. Your old man's out there and he's very keen to see you. What are you doing here?
Thanks for that warm greeting. I've just driven 3 hours down the Great Ocean Road.
I'm working.
You've broken up with Piper.
News travels fast.
Mum told me.
I draw the line at claiming coal mining is good for the environment.
Who's making that claim? Is that a cat?
Are you a cat?
There's a cat in there, Andy.
I am a vet, Heather.
You, the great advocate for our native flora and fauna, are patching up cats.
It's a pet. He was suffering. I cured him. Hey, Doc. Here he is, old Schrodinger, 100% alive. Make sure you keep him in at night, okay? Okay then.
I brought you some food.
She was just my girlfriend, Dix. She didn't cook or anything. I am perfectly capable of looking after myself.
Mum sent you some strawberry jam,
Very kind.
tomato pickles, peaches, pate, cheese, that Persian feta you like.
There is a supermarket 2 miles down the road. I don't need food parcels.
Andy,
I don't need a carer.
we just thought you might need some cheering up.
That's a joke. It really is.
So whose decision was it? To break up?
Not that it's any of your business.
Whose decision?
I don't want to be with someone who would even contemplate environmental vandalism on the scale you two are planning.
We are restoring the forest. The disappearance of the tiger quail is just the tip of the iceberg.
I'll say it is.
We are monitoring the entire bioregion, Andy. 160,000 hectares, 92 rare and threatened species.
If you don't rein in your CO2 emissions, you won't have a bioregion, nor any icebergs. Now, please, take your box of charity and... Shit!
I'll get a broom.
Leave it. Leave me alone. I don't want you here.
Don't treat me like this, Andy.
Don't treat me like this, Andy.
Oh, for God's sakes. Hundreds of institutions are funded by mining money.
So, are you stupid as well as corrupt?
Don't push it. Just don't, okay? Don't, because if I turn my back...
So, how big's the cheque, Professor?
Mind your own business. Here, let me do that. Oh, for God's sake.
Fine. See, you can't even be transparent with your own family.
$2.8 million.
I rest my case.
It's not a secret. It's on their website. Money has to come from somewhere,
Not from coal mining, Professor.
as most grown-up people understand. You want me to close the Cape? Is that what you want? Then we can all bask in ideological purity. Andy, this is a massive project, one that will deliver major outcomes to the forest.
There's no point delivering major outcomes to the forest if Harry Jewell keeps spewing crap into the atmosphere.
Every person on this planet wants to find a solution to the energy crisis, Andy. Not just you. Even the energy sector wants a solution.
No, they don't.
Of course they do. You think you're the only musketeer in the story.
Big coal does not give a stuff about climate change.
And yet people have to be able to turn the lights on across the globe, not just here. Even you would have to acknowledge that.
Oh, my God, you really have bought into their propaganda. Shit! Ow!
I don't know why we're having this fight. Your splitting with Piper has nothing to do with fossil fuels. I came down to see if I could help you patch things up.
I don't want to patch things up.
It's going to be very lonely up there on the moral high ground.
Excuse me. I have a client.
Listen, Andy, I'm going to be blunt.
No, I'm going to be blunt.
You need me. Don't do this. Don't drive me away.
I have a disease.
Andy, you're making a mistake.
Did you hear me? I have a terminal illness.
I know that.
A genetic disease.
I know.
Which you don't have.
Look, Andy, I understand what you're going through.
No, you don't. You have no idea. It's not happening to you.
But I live with it. Stop it, Andy. You're hurting my arm.
I'm the one who inherited the mutation, not you.
Yes, all right. It's not happening to me.
No, it's not. It's happening in my body.
Yes, Andy.
In every cell of my body.
Stop this! Stop it! Don't push me! Ow! Listen, Dad. I'm the one who's going to have to fucking look after you.
Oh, excuse me?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
Oh, yes, you did.
No, Andy, I didn't.
Oh, what a burden for you.
That's not what I meant.
Oh, what a rod for your back.
I'm sorry, Andy.
Being sorry is totally fucking useless. I'm not going to be your onerous responsibility. I'm not playing that game. Is that understood?
Andy.
You are relieved of any obligation towards me from this day onwards. Let me make that very clear.
You need me.
I do not. And another thing, I don't have time to pander to social niceties. I don't have time to debate the pros and cons of university funding arrangements. You're destroying the forest and the earth, and I will fight you until the day I can no longer stand up or form words that make sense. I won't have a relationship with anyone who is prepared to be a pin-up girl for coal mining. And even though you're my sister, you have to know, you did this. You destroyed the relationship between us. Now go. Go out that way.
Piper!
Dix, what are you doing here? I left my iron.
Oh.
And my bread maker.
Right.
And some clothes. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Andy's not here?
He's in there.
It's Wednesday. He usually goes into town on Wednesdays.
Well, I wouldn't go in if I were you. He's pretty agitated.
What about?
Coal mining.
He never lets up.
He's up against it, Piper. I can't...
Andy's okay when he's protesting. He's the kind of person who's always saying no. No dams, no mines, no roads. But you have to step up and make things happen. You've got to believe in your own species.
Really?
Oh, just for your information, I told Harry, Jewell, that I'm fully committed to the Powerhouse Project.
When did you do that?
Yesterday. He came with me. We got the new cameras yesterday.
Sorry, I'm not following.
The delivery arrived. The cameras we ordered? So we decided to get started. We went down to Stony Creek and installed them. You know, the new software is brilliant. I can access the cameras on my own phone. The phone just goes bing whenever a camera detects movement. Bing, up pops an image. Hopefully of a tiger quoll. See? On my phone.
Is that the only problem between you and Andy?
What?
Harry Jewell.
What do you mean?
I'm feeling uneasy.
About what?
Listen, Piper. I feel responsible for talking you into this tiger quoll business.
You didn't talk me into it.
You know I did. And it's just a wild goose chase.
According to the Dixon-Brown Index.
According to any sensible person's assessment. We're not just talking about any apex predator with low densities. This is a population which could be non-existent here. It's madness throwing your best people at something like this. Whereas addressing the causes of the decline of the Manor Gum woodlands, that's real. That has to be prioritised because there are demonstrable outcomes. Restore the habitat. Ensure the future of the koalas on the Cape.
There is no more funding. You've made that abundantly clear.
For God's sake, Piper. There will be money. I will find money.
I'm not dropping the tiger quoll project.
This is not about your career. It's about your life.
My life? Oh, I see. Yeah, my life is fine. Andy's fine. The weather is fine. Yep, we're all just fine, except that Andy does not want to have a relationship with me. He may not have mentioned this to you, Dix, but he has made that abundantly clear to me. I have tried everything I can to make this work. I don't know what more I can do.
There is something you need to know about Andy.
What?
Here's your stuff. Off you go, both of you. I have clients in here with sick animals.
What is the matter with you? It's like talking to the wall.
What time did you get back to town last night? You and Harry.
We didn't get back until the morning. We camped.
You camped out?
In separate tents, of course.
Piper, you've done great work setting this up. We'll find a couple of postgrads to take this on.
Postgrads can't do this.
They can start next year.
Next year? What are you talking about? This is not some lifestyle choice, some way of shoring up a salary for myself.
Nevertheless, there are processes.
Processes? Jesus Christ, this is our chance to get an important project up and running, and you're pulling the plug?
I'll clear it all with Harry tonight.
Clear what? He doesn't want postgraduates running this.
I'm the director of the institute. I call the shots.
The money is on the table.
I'm fully aware of that, Piper.
Harry's going back to Hunter Valley this afternoon.
He's at a function with me and the Vice-Chancellor.
The planet is emptying, but what do you care? You have to go to drinks with the Vice-Chancellor. What's the matter if we wake up and half the species on Earth are dead? Because your index can't measure how lonely and lost the human race is going to be.
You're not the only person who cares, okay?
Is that so?
Piper, it would be very, very inappropriate for you to get involved with Harry Jewell. Regardless of the obvious professional compromise, it's never a good idea to get mixed up with a man on the rebound from an ugly separation.
I can assure you, there is nothing going on with me and Harry Jewell.
Andy, what are you doing?
Just passing by.
It's 1 a.m. What's up?
I'm looking at a very clean, very upmarket Range Rover.
And you felt you needed to share this?
Hybrid, silver colour, black trim.
Shit. Are you all right? I'll come down.
No. I know why you were so keen to help me patch things up with Piper, because it gets you off the hook.
I'm coming down.
No, I wouldn't dream of crashing your party. Got a dash, got a cab waiting.
Andy,
Hey, Dix.
where did you leave your car?
In your parking space.
Oh, no.
You told me to leave it there. Is it okay?
Does Andy know what kind of car you drive?
Was that Andy?
Does he?
Why would he?
That's all right then. Want a nightcap?
I think I might go back to bed.
Oh, come on. Just a little one.
You sure that's okay about Andy?
I've had a lot worse boyfriends than you.
That's nice to know.
Piper told me she took delivery of some cameras yesterday.
Great.
I think she went down to install them last night. She's plucky, isn't she? Going into the forest on her own at night.
She won't come to any harm in the forest.
Still pretty vulnerable out there, on her own. I'd be worried some psycho might come into my tent. Did you see your wife last night?
No.
Oh, I thought you were up in the Hunter Valley.
I was. Well, I was going to, but Stephanie cancelled on me. She's going through a tough patch. Her relationship isn't going so well.
Poor Stephanie.
She's pretty mad with me.
Poor you.
She'll get over it, hopefully.
So, where did you end up last night? Ice.
No, thanks. I went to a hotel.
I'm worried about Piper.
Why?
She's been behaving very oddly. I don't know if you know, she and my brother have split up.
Oh, that's no good.
No, it's not good. She really loves him, you know. He's a bit of a hero, my brother.
I thought he was the one who pulled the plug.
I don't think so. He adores her. It's just your coal mine. By the way, I've got a conference coming up in Queensland on the Sunshine Coast. I thought you might have some business up there.
No.
Are you sure? I'm staying at the Sheraton. I only have to work for an hour delivering a paper, and the rest of the time I'll be lying by the pool sipping cocktails.
Sounds lovely. But no.
Why not?
I think you know.
No, I don't.
You need someone. You deserve someone who wants to be... who's ready for a proper relationship.
I don't think you should speak for me.
Sorry.
You don't know what I want.
Oh, fair enough. I should speak for myself. And I'm not ready for this.
This?
This thing between us, I'm not ready. I'm not comfortable.
Because you would prefer a younger person?
Don't be silly. You're a very attractive woman.
But a bit old?
No.
What then?
Dix, for heaven's sake, I just told you. I'm not ready for a relationship.
And who says I am? You're making assumptions here. I'm 5 years older than you, but that doesn't make me predatory. I don't need a relationship.
Your age has nothing to do with it. I didn't even know you were older than me.
Yes, you did. You asked me.
I did not.
You asked me when I was at university, because you wanted to find out, and I told you the truth.
So?
So?
What's it matter?
It matters to you, obviously.
It doesn't. It really doesn't matter.
What does matter, then? Since you are calling this off, I think. Is that what's happening here? You don't want to continue. You don't want to see me anymore.
Dix, come on.
I just want to know, Harry. I don't play games. If you are rejecting me, I'd like to know why. I think you owe me that. I think you need to say that you would prefer a younger woman.
Dix, for God's sake.
Of course. You've never been with a woman who has pubic hair.
Don't be ridiculous. Of course I have.
But it's a bit off-putting.
I should go.
Why? Because you can't stomach a woman who stands up to you. That can be a turn-off, I understand that. You're frightened of me. You are. You're shaking in your nylon socks.
Ah, Dix, come here. Come on.
No, I want to know. Is it Piper? Is that the problem? You're sleeping with Piper as well.
No, of course not.
Even though you just lied about the hotel.
Dix,
Harry?
I went into the forest with Piper last night.
I know.
Did she tell you?
She told me you slept in separate tents. So why did you come here tonight?
I'm sorry.
You're obviously quite smitten with Piper then. Is that how she feels? Harry?
I don't know.
Get out of here.
Dix, I've been with the same woman for 15 years. Not in the habit of doing this. I was never once unfaithful to my wife.
What do you want, the Victoria Cross?
I thought you wanted the same thing.
To be humiliated? No, as it happens.
No, that's not what I meant.
You thought I wanted to compete for your affections with my brother's girlfriend.
No.
No, you're right. You're a marketplace guy. What's the problem? Everything's about competition. Competition is good. Competition is invigorating.
I made a mistake. I'm sorry.
Sleeping with me?
No, of course not.
What was the mistake then?
Thinking that you were in the market for some... Not market. You know what I mean. You were up for just having a nice time together.
But I'm not having a nice time.
No. It's taken a bit of a dive.
Go home. Do whatever you want to make yourself feel better.
Life is messy, you know.
Really?
You cannot reduce what happens between people to numbers you record on a chart. I'm sorry to tell you, Professor, you can't judge human feeling by algorithms.
No. And yet here you are, scoring 10 out of 10 for bastardry.
You seem to have reverted to some 1950s idea of relationships. These days, when you have sex with someone, you are not automatically making a lifelong commitment.
You did not have sex with some stranger you met on a dating site. You had sex with Piper. I don't care what time zone you live in. That's a betrayal.
Piper's a grown-up. It's not like I forced myself on her.
Yes, well, there'll be repercussions for Piper.
Like what?
The tragic part, my friend, is that I fell for your scam.
What repercussions?
Mind the forest to save the forest. Like, let's make friends with Afghanistan by dropping bombs on them.
And what have you ever done for the environment? Really? Dumping shit on the rest of us from your professorial chair.
Ha, nothing so high and mighty. I'm just like any other head of department, forced to sell out to any sleazebag who walks through the door with a fat wad of cash.
Dix.
You're a con man, Harry. Congratulations. I fell for it.
Fine. I shall retrieve my garments from your boudoir and ride off into the sunset.
Oh, my God.
What?
Oh, my God.
What is it? Dix, what is it?
Somebody sent an email to all staff in our faculty. The Cape Institute, headed by Professor Dixon-Brown, received substantial research funding from Powerhouse Mining. The company's chief executive officer, Jewell, is having a covert sexual relationship with Dixon-Brown. She failed to show due diligence, jeopardising public trust. The board of Powerhouse will shortly act to remove Mr. Jewell and charge him with misappropriation of company funds.
Bullshit. Who said that?
Is it your money to give?
Of course it bloody is. It's my company.
It's a public company.
Which I founded, which I run, in which I am the largest shareholder. Who sent that?
I don't know.
Andy.
Andy?
When was it sent? Dix.
2 minutes ago.
Andy.
Andy would never do something like this.
On account of being such a hero.
Oh, God.
Your brother is a fanatic. He would betray his own sister. For what? It's not going to stop us mining coal.
Come in.
You wanted to see me?
Do you know where Andy is?
No.
He's not answering his phone.
Is something wrong?
No. What about you? Everything going along okay?
Yes. Fine. I know this is really bad timing, but I thought maybe I should take a couple of weeks off and go visit my mom.
Your mum or your dog?
Both. I was thinking of leaving next week, and when I get back I could start full-time on the powerhouse project.
Let me tell you something that will clarify your situation here. Last night, someone, I don't know who, circulated an email to every member of staff at the university. It described a threat to the reputation of the university because a member of staff was having a covert sexual relationship with Harry Jewell.
Did it name the member of staff?
Yes. I did something very unethical, and I trust you will not repeat this to a single soul. I came in the middle of the night with the head of IT, and we deleted the email from the system.
So nobody read it?
Hopefully not.
Oh, Dix. Thank you.
It's okay.
I was going to tell you I knew it was a mistake. I've been such an idiot. I knew it would compromise the whole integrity of the project. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking.
You were charmed by Harry Jewell.
Who sent the email?
Someone who doesn't like us. But to be perfectly frank with you, I don't think this is the end of it.
Well, what happens now?
You'll need to step aside from the project.
Oh, no.
I've had a conversation with the San Diego Zoo. They're keen to get you back.
I see.
Since it's over between you and Andy, there's not a lot keeping you here.
Piper,
What's up,
the board has just sacked me.
Harry?
They had an emergency meeting. Clovis Carter moved that the project was an inappropriate use of company funds, citing gross misconduct.
What for?
It gets better. Clovis rang me before the meeting, urging me to resign. He said if I refused, he'd urge the board to press criminal charges.
Criminal charges? What the hell for?
He claims I misrepresented the project as an environmental impact study connected to mining in the forest, which he's pushing for, of course.
Is that what you did?
No. I represented it as a public relations exercise, which they bought. But the fact is, I am the only one standing between them and the forest.
Shit.
Then, thanks to Andy, they get this email.
What's Andy got to do with it?
Nothing.
Wrong you are. The chairman of my board gets an email from someone saying that I am embezzling their money.
What? Is that the same email?
No.
Do you know about this, Harry? Someone sent an email to staff at the university saying you and I are having an affair.
You and I? Which we're not.
It's okay, she knows.
What did the email to your chairman say?
It said that you and I were having a covert sexual relationship.
Which we're not.
It was just sex.
Oh, for God's sake.
You two had sex?
Once.
Twice, maybe 10 times. I'm sorry, Piper.
You had sex with him.
It was a long time ago.
It was last night, which is why Andy distributed those emails. He came to the apartment, saw my car out front, and 2 minutes later he sprayed his emails to all and sundry, destroying the project and clearing the way for Powerhouse to mine in the forest. Great work. He's a great guy, confirming everything you might think about environmentalists. What utter naive dickheads they are.
Harry, where are you going?
Where do you think?
Andy's place.
Andy, you...
Oi, we're closed.
You piece of shit!
Out! Get out!
She's her own sister. That's what I can't understand.
What are you talking about?
I brought you a map. Just to keep it simple.
Please, just go. Go!
This is where the board of Powerhouse had a permit to explore for coal. Forest, right on the edge of the national park. But I persuaded them after months of sweet-talking to shift here, 60 k's west. No forest. Done deal. Till you blunder in.
Me?
You gave them the go-ahead to get rid of the one man standing between them and the forest. Can you hear the trees falling out there, Andy?
You got the wrong end of the stick, mate.
$30 million. That's what this forest is worth to Clovis Carter and his mates.
Harry?
You think they're going to walk away from all that? And then all their Christmases come at once.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You handed them the forest on a plate. Cousin Country Andy shoots off his pathetic emails.
What emails?
Yeah, right.
Harry, I don't know shit about any emails.
Clean coal. It is the only way forward, Andy.
What part of this do you not understand?
It is the cheapest, most abundant fuel on the planet.
It's the absolute dirtiest.
And it's booming worldwide. Sorry to
Toxic
have to tell
waste,
you.
acid rain, air pollution.
But we can change the way we use it. We are investing massive amounts of money in
bullshit, in lies and bullshit.
This was gonna make a difference. A real difference.
If you cared one jot for that country out there, you'd put your money into wind power.
Solar, wind. Oh, I can't tell you how much I would like them to be the answer.
Oh, but your hands are tied. I understand. You make an obscene amount of money.
Renewables are never going to generate all your baseload power.
People like you talk like you're the future. But you're the old world. Old privilege, old money, old greed.
You don't know anything about me. Your wife runs off with your best mate, you hit some innocent creature, you want your whole life to be different, to stand for something.
Well, stand for something then.
What do you think I've been doing? What do you think this was all about?
I got no idea, mate. You're the only one who knows how to answer that.
Andy, are you all right? I thought he was going to kill you.
As if.
I had a call from our IT department. They've traced the email.
What friggin' email?
It was your wife.
My wife?
Stephanie.
What?
Your wife is Stephanie Jewell, is she not? She emailed every single staff member in the science faculty.
Stephanie sent that email? How? How did she do that?
Everyone's address is on the university website.
Wow, why would she do that?
She hates you. You seem to have that effect on women.
Are they going to sack you?
Don't be ridiculous. I rang Ellen Dodd.
The IT guy?
I rang him immediately after you left last night.
Like 1 o'clock in the morning?
1:30. I told him we had an emergency and he had to meet me at the IT department.
At 1:30 in the morning.
Did it work?
Turns out it's pretty simple. He deleted the email from everyone's mailbox.
And he can just do that.
Not without authority.
But what if someone's read it already? The cat's out of the bag.
Harry, it's sorted. No one has read it. Just me.
So you're off the hook?
You have no shame.
She has no shame.
What about Piper?
What's it to you?
She's my girlfriend.
You lost that race a long time ago.
Meaning?
Harry, you need to come with me. Now. This way. Andy, Piper's in reception.
You shouldn't have let her go, mate.
All right. Next.
Andy,
Mate.
I've just come to say goodbye. I'm going back to the States on the weekend.
For good? Back to the zoo?
Via New York. See my mom.
Started eating yet?
Just the corn chips.
Still the barbecue flavour?
Cheese supreme. How's Bluey Nichols' dog?
Had to put him down.
Poor old Bluey. So, are you going to sell the practice? Move to El Salvador?
I'm sick.
What?
I have GSS. It's a disease.
GSS?
It's a brain disorder. My grandfather had it. Worse luck for me, it runs in our family.
I've never heard of it.
It's a bit like Parkinson's. Except it gets you when you're 40.
How do you know you've got this thing? I mean, are you sure?
I've had the test.
What's the...
The prognosis? 6 years. That's the average.
Does Dix know?
She's my sister.
Why didn't you tell me?
I only just found out.
You just had the test?
No, I had the test when I was a kid. The truth is, it's only just started to show itself.
But you've known for a long time.
Since I was 13.
And you never once wanted to tell me?
I never once wanted to live my life as a dying man.
We've been together for 2 years.
I'm sorry.
I'm not leaving.
Yes, you are.
No,
You're going to the airport on the weekend.
I'm not.
You don't need to prove to yourself that you're a good person.
No, I don't. But you can't face this on your own.
I've been facing this all my life.
What will happen to you?
You don't want to know.
I do. I want to know. You can't keep this from me.
Piper, calm down.
No, I can't. This is not... It's not fair. We've only just got started.
And this is where it ends. You can't be part of this.
I won't be pushed away. I won't.
Mate, you're a traveller. You're passing through.
We're all just passing through.
I don't want to look into your eyes and see pity.
I have pain in here that you could think of facing this without me.
This road, Piper,
This road?
it just leads to sadness.
Do you still not believe there are any tiger qualls out there?
I'm the bloke who killed the last one. Remember?
Andy, look. Camera 16.
No.
Yes. It's a quall. They're still out there. Hello, beautiful.
This is Extinction by Hannie Rayson, directed by Martin Jarvis. Starring Seamus Dever as Harry Jewell, Sarah Drew as Dr. Piper Ross, Darren Richardson as Andy Dixon, and Joanne Whalley as Professor Heather Dixon-Brown. Producer, Annalise Erikson. Recording engineer, editor, and sound designer, Neil Wogensen. Senior radio producer, Ron Lipkin. Foley artist, Jeff Gardner. Mixed by Charles Carroll for the Invisible Studios, West Hollywood. I'm Susan Loewenberg, producing director of LA Theatre Works.